Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope you all are doing good. Today's topic which we are going to study in economics is the scope of economics. What does the scope of economic means here? The scope of economic means that as we know that economics is all about the basic problems in an economy, right? We do face with various problems in an economy. How these problems are divided into varied fields or areas of studies, that is what the scope of economics tells us. This what scope of economics is all about, and how these problems are categorized into various fields. This what we are going to study in the scope of economics. So let us start the video. That is, we can say, or in a country we can say that human wants are unlimited, but at the same time as these wants are unlimited, the resources to fulfill these wants are very scarce, or we can say there is a scarcity of these resources. Now as these things are there in the society, a very major problem comes in a society, that is a problem of choice. Reduce which goods need to be produced in the society and in what quantity it needs to be produced. We just cannot produce goods in abundant quantity, because one thing we need to keep in mind is that resources are very limited, scarce. How to produce, whether it would be a labor intensive technique or capital intensive technique, various technologies which we can use to produce this good. So what are those technologies which we are going to produce this good? And the last is for whom to produce. Are these goods need to be produced more for richer people, or it needs to be produced more for people, for poor people? Now as these problems prevail in the society, a very major role comes of the economist. Economists also study that how these problems can be cured in the society. They comes up with various laws, they comes up with various theories, they comes up with various solutions. They study why there is unemployment of resources. As when we study about PPC curve, that is production possibility curve, we know that any point which lies below the PPC curve, it states that resources are unemployed. That means resources are not fully employed, right? So they do study about this, that what is the reason behind it. Then they also study about that what are the various determines level to study national income. Then what are the general price level in the why these prices are fluctuating high, why it is going low, why the society is facing a problem of inflation and deflation. So they do study about these things also in the society. At the same time they also study in a country that how much resources a society choose. Like we know that for any country, for its growth and development, it's very important three sector, that is infrastructure, industry, healthcare sector, then we can say agricultural sector need to be developed, right? So to develop these sectors, as these sectors will get developed, there will be an economic growth in the country. But economists also study that how society wisely use their scarce resources to attain economic growth in a country, right? So as we know that all these problems prevail in the society and economists study about all these problems, we comes up with an important part in economics, that is the scope of economics. Let us start that this scope of economics has been divided, or we can say the branches of economics are divided into two parts, that is microeconomics and macroeconomics. These are the two main branch, or we can say the scope of economics to study. Let us understand these two concepts in detail. Micro and macro. If we say macro, macro itself is a word which tells us that large. Here we study economy as a whole. We do not just we study the economy as a whole, means that we study the economic problem which an entire nation is dealing with. Like we can say unemployment, right? Unemployment, everybody do face unemployment in a country during recession period. Then we can say a problem of wages. National income, very very important, because in national income we study about the income of the entire nation, right? So this what in macroeconomics we study, because it studies the economy as a whole. Now if I talk about micro, micro means that if we are studying the nation, economics into an entire country, it is very important for us to go deep inside the country and also study the economy activity which goes on deep inside the country. So for that we have come up with the term that is micro. Micro means small. Here we study economy in a smaller unit. Before going next slide, to understand these things with example in detail, let me tell you that these two concepts, that is micro and macro in economics, were first coined by Ragnar Frisch in 1933. Ragnar Frisch was one of the founders of economics as a modern science. He made a number of significant advances in the field of economics and coined a number of new words, that were few among that was micro and macro. Let us understand these two concepts in more detail in the next slide. What is microeconomics? If you see the picture which I have pasted over, micro means smaller unit. Here, economic actions and behavior of an individual unit or a small group of individual is being studied in micro. Micro itself is a word, means small. We study a very microscopic detailed study about the economic activity which are carried forward by the individual unit or a small group of individuals. Let us take a basic example. For example, there is a toothpaste companies, two firms which are selling the homogeneous product, that is toothpaste, right? What all techniques these two firms, that is firm A and B, will carry out so that maximum production, maximum goods of their particular firm is being sold in the market, right? What they will come up with various advertisement technique, what they will come up with their price technique, what they will do in a market to establish their goods more and it can be sold more. So in this we study about the only about a particular group of firm or a particular individuals, small group of individuals. So this what microeconomics deals with. Let me explain this again with more example. It is also said that microeconomics we make a microscopic study, right? So from here it will be more easier for you all to understand that in microscope we do a detailed study about only a smaller units, not the entire nation but a smaller units in the country. Let us take one example. For example, there is a tree, okay, it has a lot of branches. Now what will be the microscopic study will be here? Here we are not going to study about the entire tree, right? We are going to only study about a branches of the tree, one branch of the tree. Simplest example, let me give you an example in economic term. The key role of microeconomics is to examine how a company could maximize its production. What they will do to maximize their production? Are they going to use more labor intensive techniques, or are they going to bring more capital goods into their firm so that the production can be increased more, supply will be more, and simultaneously demand will also be more in the market, so that it could lower the prices and compete in its industry, right? Lower the prices, more the goods will be sold in the country, in the market, sorry. So this is the economically term example. So let us move further. Now let us understand the components of microeconomics. Now what are the various theories we can say or laws we can say that we are going to study in microeconomics? Let us understand this. Economic studies the behavior of an individual group or an individual group of firms in the market, right? So if I talk about consumer, he is the one who will face the problem of choices. Very important how he utilizes his income to attain maximum satisfaction of his wants, right? Here we study about the behavior of the consumer. We can say that one of the important component of microeconomics is to study the theory of consumer behavior or theory of demand, right? So here economists come up to try to solve the problem that how consumers behave in the market situation, so that for that economist brings up the theory of consumer behavior or theory of demand, right? The theory of demand states that when the prices are higher, demand will be low. When the prices will be low, demand will be higher. Let's move on to the next example. Suppose now this we saw about the consumer related. Let us see about what the producers do in the market. We know the producers is the one who produce the goods. Again, producer has to face the problem of choice. Which goods need to be produced? Is the one who has to choose which goods need to be produced, right? How he can gain profit from that good, what various techniques he can use to produce that goods, and production will be more in the market, right? And very important he has to choose is that which technique he has to use. Either it should be a labor intensive techniques or it should be a capital intensive techniques. So here when we study about the behavior of the producer, we comes up with the theory known as theory of supply. We study about the behavior of a producer theory, which is known as theory of supply. So this is one of the component of microeconomics. Here we are focusing in only producer, smaller unit in an economy. Second very important is that we are also going to study about the pattern, what happens in the market, right? What happens in the market? In the market is all known for its prices, right? So economist has also given us a theory to understand in microeconomics, that is the theory of price. Prices are lower, demand will be more. Prices are higher, demand will be less, right? So these are the three main important components of microeconomics. Okay, let us understand about now. Till here we studied about microeconomics. Now let us study in detail about what is macroeconomics, right? Macro word says that large of the economy. So when we are studying the economy as a whole, there are a lot of concepts need to be studied, lot of problems needs to be studied when we study economy as a whole. You know, from smaller units, the entire nation is being created. So from the smaller unit, when we study, that is micro, we come up to a major study, that is macro. Let us understand what is macroeconomics. It is a Greek word. Macros means large. Therefore, macroeconomics is concerned with the economic activity in large, that is in the whole totality. It analyzes the behavior of the whole economic system in totality or entirely. What was happening in microeconomics? We study the behavior of consumer, producer, and in the market study, right? But what happened in macroeconomics? Here we study the behavior of the entire economic system. Here we study the totality or entirely the whole of economic unit. The basic issue problem studied by the economist at the macro level. Like what we study at the macro level, we study about problem of unemployment, GDP growth, very important topic. Economic stability, there should be no fluctuations in the economic activity in the country, right? Which happened during the time of pandemic, where the economy of a country went very down. That is why the prices of various commodities shoot up very high. It studies the behavior of large aggregates such as total employment, national product or national income, general price level. Very important thing what macroeconomic study is that the price level in the country. Are the prices high? Are the prices low? Macroeconomics studies. Therefore, macroeconomics is also known as aggregative economics. Total of all the economic activities. Let us move further and let us discuss about the vital components of macroeconomics. What are the components of micro? Micro studies about consumer, producer, market. So we comes up with various theories like theory of demand, theory of supply, theory of price. Here what are we going to study is that we are going to study theory related to level of output and employment. As full employment in the economy, more will be the output. So theory related to equilibrium level of output and employment. In this we are going to study about that how aggregate demand is equal to aggregate supply. This concept is aggregate demand and aggregate supply is a theory which is known as equilibrium theory of output and employment. Then we are going to study then the next component of macroeconomics is the theory related to general price level and inflation. As I already discussed, if the prices rises in the society, it causes inflation. See that why such things happen, why this problem persists in the economy. So this is one of the component of macroeconomics. Next, very important, we are going to is a part of macroeconomics is fiscal and monetary policy. Now, what does this fiscal and monetary policy means? Fiscal and monetary are the budget related policies where the government comes up with fiscal and monetary policies to correct the situation of inflation and deflation gap. Next, the component of macroeconomics is money supply and credit creation. Macroeconomics, we study about banking system in a country and money supply in a country. Next, we are going to the component of macroeconomics is government budget. Very important, it focuses on the measurement and impact of budgetary deficit in the economy. We can say that how government plays an important role to uplift its budget. So macroeconomics also deals with this particular part, right? Then exchange rate and BOP. Your BOP stands with balance of payment, right? So how we do foreign trade, how the foreign currencies are converted here, how it is being utilized over here to fix various deficits in the economy. So it analyzes exchange rate, dollar rupees exchange rate, and economic activity in domestic economy. Domestic means our economy, right? So these all are the components of macroeconomics. Now one thing I would like to grab your attention is that if you see these points of components of macro, this is the points not an individual deals with, right? This is the entire country which deals with these components. So these are the components of macroeconomics. What all things we studied today in this topic is that what is microeconomics and what is macroeconomics. These are the scope, or we can say branches of economics, right? So if anyhow my video will be helpful for you all, and if anyhow you gain a little bit of also knowledge from my video, I would like you all to please like, share and subscribe my channel. And thank you and have a nice day.